I feel sick and hangovers. I gotta lay off the peyote. The hell are you crying about?
I saw Halloween 6.
What?
I saw Halloween 6.
You wash your dick?
I saw Halloween 6. It's... Oh good God. It was horrible. It was so horrible.
God damn it, Adam. I told you to take it easy on this crap. I mean, did you at least watch the producer's cut like I suggested?
Oh yeah. I watched this piece of shit too.
And?
It's just as bad. It's not worse. It's not better. The producer's cut, it's just as bad as the theatrical version.
Are you serious? But all the fans loved that cut. They said it greatly improved on the version that was released in theaters.
Well, whoever told you that needs a CAT scan because... Oh, God! It's worse than the last one! Just, please, neuralize me, man. Just please, dude, I can't take this anymore.
God damn it, Adam, I can't. Your mind can't take it. I told you this would happen. But you know what? You don't listen. You gotta do everything your way. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what exactly do I know, right? You know, I'm just a government agent.
Oh, come on, man, please. My brain can take it, I promise.
No more mulligans for you. You're on your own.
No, wait, please don't go. Alright. Okay. Let's just get through this. Halloween 6.
You know, I didn't think they could make the shit brought on in the last film worse than it already was, but damn. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, is a terrible movie. I mean, just awful. The theatrical version is bad on its own, but people often turn to the producer's cut. People love this version of the movie. In fact, right on the back of the DVD case that I purchased, it says, "In this form, Halloween 6 could have been the best of the Halloween sequels to that date." Bull fucking shit. It just astounds me how people can't see that this is just as bad. But before I tear this movie a new one, and trust me, I will, let me give you a little backstory on it. It took a long time for this movie to get off the ground, mainly because of all the legal battles that were taking place at the time. Eventually, though, Miramax and Dimension bought the rights to Halloween and all future sequels. The studios hired several writers and went through several different scripts, none of which were satisfactory to the studios, until finally they settled on Girl Next Door writer Daniel Farran's, whose initial script in turn went through 11 goddamn rewrites. Well, guess what? It needed 11 more! Hired next was director Joe Chappelle, who had no interest in the Halloween series. Apparently, he did the film so that he could get his 3-picture deal with Dimension. He had no respect or enthusiasm for this series or this movie. He just wanted his contract. I'm sorry, I gotta scream now. This is why the last film was bad! The director of Halloween 5 didn't care either, and look what happened. You got a shit film. Mustafa Akkad even admits on the Halloween 25 Years of Terror DVD that Halloween 5 was a serious, rushed mistake. Yeah! What's the excuse for this crap? I'm sorry, I had to get that off my chest. Moving on. To add more troubles to this problematic production, the studios were unsure about the title, and an early teaser even had the film being called Halloween 666, The Origin of Michael Myers, which were actually the titles of 2 separate scripts mushed together. Yeah, nice to know the studios can't even pay attention to that shit. Then one day, Farran's, in his infinite wisdom, jokingly suggested calling the film The Curse of Michael Myers, due to the film's production being seemingly cursed from the get-go. Unfortunately, Mustafa Akkad took this literally and actually ran with that title. It's bad enough knowing that the titles of the last 3 Halloween sequels match the titles of the Pink Panther sequels, but knowing that this title is nothing more than an in-joke really has me yearning to rage through Burger King with a fucking pickaxe. And the fact that the film in itself is an insultingly awful mess doesn't help. And on that note, I will be reviewing the producer's cut. However, during certain parts of the review, I will cut out a bit to talk about the differences that were in the theatrical cut, and trust me, there are several differences, but both of these versions are just as bad as the other. Now, one thing you will notice in this review is that the film's quality will change often, and that's because the producer's cut is only available as a low-quality bootleg. This is nobody's fault, and I will not condemn the film for that. That being said, this is Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. So the film opens with some strange woman that I don't know screaming as she's apparently giving birth for a sacrificial cult. You know, because that whole human sacrifice thing really worked so well the first time the series tried it. The child is born, but before the woman can hold her child, the man in black from the end of the last film comes in and takes the baby out of the room, which leads to a narration by Donald Pleasance.
When Michael Myers was 6 years old, he stabbed his sister to death. And suddenly, Halloween was another word for mayhem. The police tried everything to stop him. He overcame them all.
Wait! Overcame them all? Michael never overcame shit! He was defeated in each movie he was in. He was shot off a balcony, burned to a crisp, shot down a mine shaft, thrown in prison, and the only reason he's not still incarcerated is because this hastily railroaded character, who we know nothing about, broke him out. Overcame them all my ass!
The world thought him dead.
Wait! How would the world think he was dead? He was clearly broken out of prison, and for that matter, what happened to Jamie? Wait, the cult kidnapped her? So does that mean...
Jamie, come with me if you want to save your baby.
Oh, fuck you! Yes, folks, that is not Danielle Harris playing Jamie Lloyd. It is, in fact, J.C. Brandy. Due to creative differences, Danielle Harris did not return to play the character.
Talked about different things and ways we can kind of work stuff out, and wasn't really seeing eye to eye.
I'm gonna go more into this later, because trust me, her reasons for not coming back were a lot more justified than you may realize. So out of nowhere, the woman who delivered Jamie's baby comes in and sneaks Jamie out of the facility. Why don't you go with them, you dumb shit? You know Michael is coming after you, and I'm pretty sure you'd be more useful to them alive than dead. But we needed an excuse for Michael to kill someone the second he comes on screen, so he just picks her up and impales her with a spike that just happened to be sticking out of the wall. We then cut back to Jamie, who is running surprisingly fast despite the fact that she has just given birth. Worth the Prometheus. Jamie escapes with her baby as we cut to a young boy named Danny, who is being visited by the mysterious man in black.
Danny, kill for him.
Mommy! Danny? Mommy's here. But it's a baby.
The voice man, he's here.
No one's there.
Oh god fucking damn it, how many psychic connections are there in this series?
Did you tell the boy the truth about his father?
So when the boy screams, we are introduced to his mother, played by Marion Hagen, who enjoys stripping for TNA effect while having her privacy violated by her neighbor, played by... Paul Rudd? Yes, this is apparently the movie that introduced us to Paul Rudd, one of the funniest comedians working today. And watching his performance in this film makes you wonder how the hell he even had a career when it was over.
Michael's work isn't done in Haddonfield. And soon, very soon, he'll come home to kill again.
No, I don't sound like I'm reading from a cue card at all. Oh, and guess who he's playing?
Doyle.
Tommy Doyle?
Yeah, Tommy Doyle, that little boy Laurie was babysitting in the first movie. But hey, you know, I mean, it's not like they're just gonna railroad other minor characters from the first film in here, right?
Good God. Terrorists, come in. gracious, what a night. Even so much as a sign for 5 miles on that road.
Wynn! Dr. Wynn, really? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure none of you remember who the hell this character is. So, let me enlighten you. Remember that douchebag that was arguing with Loomis outside of Smith Grove in the first film? Yeah, that was Wynn, the character who Loomis refers to as his best friend throughout the entire film. Okay, where was this asshole when all this other shit was going on? Yeah, some friend you got there, Loomis, and you failed to mention him until, about 5 movies in? I'm sorry, you cannot just railroad in a character and make him Loomis's friend when all we've seen him do before is bitch out Loomis and argue with him. This is fucking stupid, and just to add insult to injury, Wynn is here solely to announce his retirement as the head of Smith Grove. Okay, so was the head of Smith Grove in part 4 also Dr. Wynn? And, you know, because if that's the case, I'm not buying the whole friendship angle because, well...
My hope is that he'll either transfer, retire, or die.
Yeah! What the fuck? I'm sorry, I let that rant go on for too long. Let's just move on.
God, you look good, Sam. I feel great. I had surgery, plastic surgery, skin grafts. It costs a fortune, but at least I don't frighten people anymore.
Yes, in other words, production was far too lazy to give me makeup effects. Yeah, that's actually a small difference in the cuts, because in the theatrical version, the whole explanation of the skin grafts was cut out, so when audiences saw that Loomis was no longer scarred, it left them a bit confused.
Sam, I want you to come back to Smith Grove. You should know that it's not wise to play Halloween pranks on me. It's no prank. You're the one I've chosen, Sam. I want you to come back.
Wait, why? Dude, look at him. He's old. You can't ask him to do this. He's old. I mean, look at he's too old. I mean, he looks like he's about to drop dead. Why would you ask him to come back to work when he's happily retired? Let this guy die in peace, you bastard. Some friend you are. Dickhead. So while the two of them talk business, they hear Jaime over the radio, who is calling from the bus station.
Michael Myers. Look, someone, anyone, help me, Dr. Loomis, are you out there? Can you hear me, Dr. Loomis? I need your help.
Please, no, please. Stop a minute. What the hell is going on tonight?
How about telling them your name, where you are, and possibly where you've been all this time, because I'm sure if you did that, more people listening would believe you. So Michael then cuts the power in the bus station as Jaime hides in the bathroom. She manages to escape through a window and drive away, but of course Michael catches up to her and eventually just stabs her in a barn and leaves her for dead.
You can't have the baby, Michael. You can't have the baby.
So, does Michael head back to the bus station to retrieve the baby? No, because that would just make too much fucking sense. Tommy listens to Jamie's radio call, heads to the bus station himself, and follows a long trail of blood that no one else noticed for some reason, to the bathroom where he finds the baby.
It's okay. It's okay, man. It's okay.
Yeah, fun fact for you. Director Joe Chappelle actually cut a lot of Loomis's scenes out of the film for the theatrical cut, and added more scenes of Tommy Doyle because he found Loomis to be boring. Joe Chappelle and Daniel Farrens wanted to make Tommy Doyle into a younger, hipper version of Loomis. Yeah, not only was this a terrible idea, but, well, you know, I think April O'Neil can say it better than me.
Oh, well, you failed miserably.
This guy is creepy, smug, annoying, and virtually worthless as a character. He is only here to show up at the plot's convenience, act stoic, and spout exposition like a fucking wizard. He sucks. Every time he opens his mouth, I just want to punch him, but even Paul Rudd admitted years later that he hated playing this role, so I guess I'm not alone. We then cut to more characters we don't give a shit about. The Strodes! Yes, Danny and his mother Kara are evidently members of the Strode family. And living in the Myers house. Living in the Myers house. Okay, I'm not even gonna bitch about the fact that the Myers house looks different again, because I think I got my point across about that in the last review, but how fucking stupid are you people? Why would the Strodes even humor moving in there? I mean, they try to say later that the father moved them in there because he couldn't sell the property to anyone else, and that the rest of the family just didn't know. But how could they not know? You didn't know that your adopted daughter was almost savagely murdered by the brother that was born in this house? You didn't know a murder was committed here, even though it's common knowledge among everyone in town? Bull fucking shit! Why would you move in there? I don't care if you couldn't sell the property, you cannot possibly be this stupid! So we meet the rest of the Strodes, like Tim, the character who, along with his girlfriend, has no purpose in this movie, John, the piece of shit father, and Deborah, the scared little wife. Here's another fun fact. John and Deborah were characters named after John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. Oh gee, I wonder why this pisses me off so much. Oh, well maybe it's because I hate seeing asshole characters named after kick-ass individuals. John is an unreasonable piece of shit who disrespects his family at every turn.
Doesn't show her face around her own family for 5 years, then comes back and expects us to roll out the red carpet. You think going to college is gonna make up for your mistakes, girl? Huh?
Please.
Lay off her, Dad. Oh, that's it, Deborah. Yeah, just keep slipping her the cash. You know, while you're at it, I got a great idea. Here, why don't you give her all of our goddamn money?
And Deborah is a scared little wife who won't say a word against her husband even after she witnesses him smacking their daughter around because she stood up for her son.
Everything was going fine till you landed on our doorstep. You and that little bastard even.
I see only one bastard in this house.
And evidently, the only one with any balls in this family is the kid, because when this asshole smacks his mother, he pulls a damn knife on him. Wait, that's it? This kid just pulled a knife on his grandfather and no one's even gonna acknowledge it? Really? Nothing at all?
Now, Danny, you know, Grandpa didn't really hurt me, right?
Right, Mom.
Yes, Mother, you should know that I'm a blind moronic retard. We then cut to Loomis, who has arrived with Wynn at the barn where Jamie's body has been discovered.
Good God, what's that?
It's his mark. He's coming home.
Yes, his mark. Yet another plot point you didn't bother mentioning until 5 fucking movies in! But hey, at least Loomis is acting like Loomis this time around.
And the last thing I need now is you going around spouting off ghost stories.
I suppose it was a ghost that did all this, huh? It was a ghost talking on the radio last night, and that's a ghost being carried out here right now.
So as Jamie is carted off to the hospital, Loomis visits Deborah Strode and tells her to get out of the house after he sits and tells her about Michael. Really, I still don't get how she wouldn't have known about Michael. I mean, what the hell? Seriously, even if her husband hadn't told her, you'd think someone in town would have. But the second Loomis leaves and Deborah calls her husband, she gets killed by Michael. Out in the open, in the daytime. Wow, this has to be the most unattentive neighborhood on the planet. We then return to Paul Rudd as he runs into Danny, making him drop his pumpkin. And I guess the reference to the first film is a little clever. But then Kara comes home and finds them together in Danny's room.
What are you doing here?
A very good question.
I'm your neighbor from across the street. I'm Tommy Doyle.
What are you doing with my son?
Again, a very sound point. This guy makes Jimmy Lloyd from Part 2 look sober. I swear, he looks like he's always about to rape something.
Danny, go downstairs.
But Tommy's my new friend. He knows all about dinosaurs.
Yeah, you're really not helping his case here.
You're in danger. Come with me.
Come with me if you want to live.
But then we interrupt this creepy fucking moment to watch Jamie Lloyd get killed by the Man in Black.
The work is done now, Jamie.
That's how Jamie Lloyd dies?
fuck you and die!
It was bad enough Danielle Harris didn't play the role, and that you scrubbed Jamie to the side, more so than the last film did, to focus on this creepy douchebag and all these railroaded characters that will, by the end, serve no fucking purpose whatsoever. But now you just killed off Jamie unceremoniously? Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! And believe it or not, in the theatrical version, she was killed by Michael at the farmhouse. Either way, it is disrespectful to the fans of the character and absolutely insulting in general. Like I said, both versions are just as bad. In fact, this was the reason Danielle Harris did not return. She read the script and was outraged that her character went out in such a crappy manner.
Talked about different things and ways we can kind of work stuff out, and wasn't really seeing eye to eye. So then it became, if I'm going to do this, I want to make a little bit of money. Miramax basically said your character is a scale plus 10 character because you die in the first act, which is about what I made on the first Halloween about 8 years before. So I said, okay, if it's the way you think about me, even though this would be my third movie, then I don't think I'll be doing it.
Harris rightfully declined. Good for her. It's nice to know that the studios really fucking gave a shit about the fans and the series. Fuck them! But on the bright side, hey, at least I never have to watch Danielle Harris die in a Halloween movie. Nope, I'll never have to suffer through that. The fuck was that? Okay, moving on. Then, my friends, it only gets more insulting, as Paul Rudd, the exposition fairy, reveals the secret as to why Michael will not die.
Of all the runes, Thorn had the most negative influence. Among the ancient druids, Thorn represented a demon that spread sickness, destroyed crops, brought death to hundreds of thousands of people. According to Celtic legend, one child from each tribe was chosen to be inflicted with the curse of Thorn, to offer the blood sacrifices of its next of kin on the night of Samhain. And the common link I found is Thorn. The Druids were also great mathematicians and astronomers, but the Thorn symbol is actually a constellation of stars that appears from time to time on Halloween night. Whenever it appears, he appears.
Okay, first of all, this was a terrible idea. Making Michael the victim of a fucking Celtic curse or some bullshit is just insulting to our intelligence, and does nothing but make him not scary. Michael is the boogeyman! There should be no reason behind his madness. It was bad enough when the second film gave him a method for his madness, for fuck's sake. Michael was scary because he was just pure evil. He's supposed to be walking chaos, and this explanation flat out ruins that. Secondly, if you're going to bring Celtic symbols and curses into this fucking series, know what the fuck you're talking about first. The symbol for Thorn does not represent famine, or sickness, or death, or evil, or any of that shit. Thorn is in fact a symbol for discipline. Its other meaning is an omen for good, and it in turn represents the theory that all evil can be overcome. But it means the exact opposite here, because the asshole writer of Part 5 stuck the Thorn symbol in his film for absolutely no reason, and the dipshit writer of this film needed it to mean the exact opposite for this moronic story to work. Stop writing! You're not good at it! Neither are you, but I'm done bitching about you. Lastly, if all they wanted to do all this time was pass the curse on to someone else, why didn't you just do that when you last had the chance? Oh god, I got such a headache. Someone give me an aspirin!
Find the only man who can stop him before it's too late.
Oh no, where's Danny?
Really? You can't even keep tabs on your son when he's in the same room with you? You know, lady, women like you were the reason Code Adam was invented.
Have you seen...
Danny, don't ever walk off without telling me where you're going.
Don't worry, Mom, I won't do it again. At least until the plot requires me to. So Tommy goes out to meet Loomis, who he had met earlier in the hospital. Yeah, I really wasn't invested enough to mention that. But before Loomis heads out to meet Tommy, he discovers that the baby Tommy had earlier is in fact Jamie's baby.
And we found this.
call you, Paige?
It's placental fluid.
God in heaven, do you mean to say that?
I estimate she gave birth no more than 24 hours ago.
And the question is, where is the baby?
I think I may already know.
Yeah, because Tommy couldn't have just told him that earlier. No. We had to waste more of the audience's time for Loomis to figure out the obvious. While that's going on, John Strode comes home and is killed by Michael. Now this death is a little different in the theatrical cut, and is a lot more fitting. Why? Because in the theatrical version, his fucking head explodes. Joy! Play it again, play it again, play it again! Meanwhile, at the town's Halloween festival, Tommy is waiting for Loomis when he hears a little girl singing something odd.
Mommy, it's raining. It's raining red. Mommy, it's raining. It's raining red. Mommy, it's raining. It's raining red. Mommy, it's raining red. It's warm. Why is it warm?
Yes, evidently children don't have brains or the power to look up in this movie. Loomis arrives to meet Tommy just as the body falls far from the tree, and God is that a good metaphor for this sequel. As Tommy and Loomis head back to the house, Michael kills Tim Strode and his girlfriend, while Kara watches helplessly across the street. Such shock! Maybe if I actually paid attention to my son, he wouldn't always run away or pull knives on people at the first sign of trouble. I'm so clueless! So Danny walking over to the Myers house for some unexplained reason leads to Kara finding the dead bodies. Yeah, you just watched them get killed about 2 seconds ago. You know what's under that sheet, you dumbass. But as Kara hears Michael, she manages to not only hide, but to fake him out as well. Oh, what the hell? I can figure out how to survive in an inferno, escape a mineshaft explosion, and orchestrate a prison break, but I can't see when I'm obviously being had. I think I need a career change. And after this, Danny and Kara head right back to Tommy's house, where Tommy and Loomis had discovered that the baby is gone. So, really, the last 5 or so minutes of Danny going to the house and Kara having to save him was entirely pointless. Nothing happened. She faked out Michael, got Danny back, the end. That is not suspense. That is not horror. That is time filler!
Where's the baby?
He's gone. Who else knew I had the baby?
No one.
No. There had to be someone else. Who knew?
Nobody knew it except me and...
Danny, come to me.
Really? They were in the next room and nobody saw them? Blind people have better attention spans than these retards! So it's now revealed that the Man in Black is none other than Dr. Wynn. Dumb, dumb, dumb! This is so fucking dumb! So Kara, instead of doing the smart thing and running out the front door, goes up the stairs and is, of course, cornered. Yes! I'll dive out the window, which will knock me out, in which case they'll capture me just like they were gonna do in the first place. God, I'm an idiot.
Where is she? Where's Kara? I feel like I've been drugged.
We have been drugged.
Why are they doing this? Why didn't they just kill us?
It's his game. and I know where he wants to play it.
Yeah, Loomis, see, that's interesting, but it doesn't quite answer the question. I mean, what the fuck? Why didn't they just kill them? Or at the very least, capture them and put them in the holding cells that we have clearly seen that they have? You let the only two people who can ruin your plans go free? Are you high? So, of course, they head to Smith Grove, where Tommy walks around completely unnoticed, trying to find Kara and Danny, while Loomis confronts Wynn in his office.
Michael, we've given him the power, the gift of Thorn. I am its deliverer. I follow it. Act as its guardian. I protect Michael. Watch over him.
Oh, so Michael wasn't just under a curse? He was taking orders too? Oh my god, this is unholy! No pun intended. This is just horrendous.
I thought Michael was a monster. But you...
We then cut to Kara, who I guess is being offered up as some Amazonian sacrifice to Michael, who is standing around like a jackass, as Wynn reveals that his whole plot was to pass the evil on to Danny.
And then, Danny, your journey begins. Kill for him.
Oh great, now I have more questions. Tommy Doyle clearly stated earlier that in order to pass on the evil to another, Michael has to wipe out his entire family. So if passing on the evil to Danny is what they always wanted to do, why did they keep Jaime alive? Or for that matter, why did they make her have a child? That's just adding to Michael's bloodline, isn't it? None of this makes any goddamn sense! You can't possibly keep this up! I mean, how could you run this franchise into the ground any more than you already have at this point?
The baby is yours, isn't it? Isn't it, Michael?
Michael, please don't hurt me.
Excuse me. It's just the part where Adam goes berserk. See? Oh god! The evil! Oh god, I feel so dirty! Michael impregnated his 15-year-old niece? What the fuck is wrong with you, you sick, twisted fucks? I thought the girl next door was disturbing, but this is just wrong! This is new levels of wrong!
Incest is backed up!
Oh god! Oh, thank god we're almost at the end. Tommy manages to sneak into the cult meeting, undetected, and run out with Kara and Danny. Wynn sends Michael after them, and Loomis miraculously comes out of nowhere to put Kara and Danny in an elevator, while Tommy stays behind, and this happens. So Michael, the indestructible killing machine who has been shot off a balcony, burned alive, shot down a mine shaft, and beaten to a bloody pulp, has now been stopped by a couple of stones on the floor. This is balls. So of course, Tommy, Kara, and Danny all escape, but Loomis decides to stay behind, stating that he has unfinished business here. He goes back upstairs and unmasks Michael, revealing... Dumb. It's still so fucking dumb.
It's your game now, Dr. Loomis.
Wait, so now Loomis is gonna be the new Michael, and Michael's gonna be the Man in Black, or Loomis is gonna be Michael's caretaker or some shit? None of this makes any sense! It's so fucking stupid! I can see why they'd want Pleasance to stick around for more sequels, but these assholes knew the guy was dying! In fact, he died shortly after shooting the film! God, it's no wonder the ending didn't make it to theaters. Now let's look at the theatrical ending. Get a piece of pie, you're gonna like this. We still get that scene of Loomis talking to Wynn and getting knocked out, only this time, they don't do that whole cult ritual crap and reveal that the baby is Michael's, thank fucking God. No, instead Michael overcomes these fuckers and goes on a rampage killing them all during a strobe effect that I swear would give anyone with a heart condition a seizure. Tommy rescues Kara and Danny, but Michael chases them down and eventually gets taken out by Tommy Doyle with a lead pipe. That's right, folks, it was Tommy Doyle in the hospital with the lead pipe. Anyone else up for a game of Clue? So no matter which ending you go by, whether it be the producer's cut or the theatrical cut, the last thing you hear is Dr. Loomis screaming like a bitch. It was the last thing we ever heard Donald Pleasance utter on screen. Way to make this character and this actor go out with dignity, you bastards. Loomis deserved better than this, Michael deserved better than this, and most of all, the fans deserve better than this. Michael wasn't the embodiment of all evil. He wasn't the boogeyman. He was just a misunderstood child under the curse controlled by an evil doctor. Fuck you! Jamie Lloyd, the character that the fans grew to love in the last two films, just gets killed off unceremoniously like she never mattered, so the film could focus more on Kara and Tommy. Fuck you! Loomis, the poor old man who has been hunting Michael down all these years because it was the right thing to do, gets shafted for most of the movie and goes out crying like a woman. Fuck you! This movie is just a giant fuck you to the fan base. Now, I stated in my list for the top 13 most unwanted movie sequels that Halloween Resurrection was the worst Halloween sequel, and trust me, we'll get to that film soon enough, but technically, it is the worst sequel because Resurrection was the one that had no reason to exist. However, as a film in general, Halloween 6 is worse all around. Halloween 6 just goes from awful to disgustingly insulting, and the fact that this is the sequel the fans really love kills me. What is there to love about this? Both cuts are horrendous. I don't know how so many people loved them. It's insulting to the series, it's insulting to the characters, it's insulting to the fans, and most of all, it's straight up insulting to Donald Pleasance's memory. He died making this film and playing a character he loved, and the studios, the writer, and the fucking director didn't give two shits. Donald, you certainly deserve better than this, as did your character. And for that matter, the character of Jamie Lloyd deserved better as well. If you like this movie, hey, more power to you, no matter how sad I think that is. But if you're a fan of the Halloween series, you've never seen this film, and somebody does recommend it to you, do me a favor and punch them the fuck out for insulting you. No closing arguments. That's it.
I prayed that he would burn in hell. It's time, Michael.
I heard the old quack is dead. What, are you looking for a referral?
Not dead.
You know, maybe you should contact him first.
Just very much retired.